Hey, 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 hey. How's everybody doing? Good evening, good evening, good evening. How y'all doing? Welcome to Study Buddy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hey, good evening. What's going on with y'all out there in nursing school land? Y'all making it? What's going on? What is going on? What is happening? What are we going over in school? What are we going in dosage calc? What's it looking like? I know we have different people from different places that come on here. I am here, yes. Hey, how are you? So I know we got different people from different regions and they start schools at different times. So let me know what program you're in. You're finished school, you're trying to pass the NCLEX. Okay, keep it cute. Well, luckily I can fairly with much confidence say there's not a whole lot of dosage calculations on the NCLEX, so that's a good thing. So I know you're excited and congratulations for finishing. Are you taking your NCLEX soon? Hey Mike, how are you? If you have not been here before, I am Nurse C, a blessed RN. I am your friendly neighborhood registered nurse, BSN, orthopedic nurse right now, that enjoys helping you students with dosage calculations. Thank you. Yes, and very, very soon. I'm so excited. I remember that time in life. Actually, when I did LPN, I didn't I was scared to take that test, man. I was just, I was still at farm tech. I was still going to work farm tech and it. And then I was studying and I actually had the book with a CD-ROM. So that's kind of telling you something. We didn't have U World back then. So I wish you the best of, I don't say the best of luck, but the best experience and just, go in there prepared and show what you know. So tonight I've got some questions. I got about 15 questions. I usually use the dimensional analysis method. But if you would like another method used, just say so in the comments. If you think I'm going too fast, say, hey, slow down. But also remember, Carmelita Palmer, is that my godmom? Hey, godmom. Sorry, I got distracted. Squirrel. You can watch the replay on my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN, and there are other problems that are broken down in individualized playlists according to the solving method, which is dimensional analysis, ratio and proportion, and desire or the formula method. So, without further ado, let's get started. And y'all give me some likes. Let's throw some likes out into this universe so we can get some more nursing students on. Spread the word. Let everybody pass dosage calculations. Do your school that you go to, does it require that you pass a dosage part before you can go on further in your studies? Y'all let me know about that in the comments. Yes. Okay. I know it's like nerve wracking. Like, oh, I don't pay all this money for school. I don't start school, prepare for school, and if I don't pass my dosage calculations, then I can't go on. I mean, I get why it's important, but sheesh, it's a lot of pressure. You have to have 100. Okay, you can do it. I have to get a 95 and I'm nervous. Okay, you said nervous. You didn't say scared. So we can't say scared. Well, this is a no fear zone. We just kind of, unsure or nervous, like you said. So hopefully we'll go over some things tonight that will make you feel a little bit better about it. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Alrighty. Yeah. All right. So 2/3 quarts equals how many milliliters? All right. So I like to start off a little bit slow. with basic metric conversion, and then we'll get into some harder things as we go. So when I do dimensional analysis, I like to start off with what it is that I'm looking for. When you see these questions, you got to figure out what is it that the question is asking me. Don't give it no more and don't give it any less, okay? So this one is asking for milliliters, so I'm going to start with milliliters. I also write out my conversions that I'm going to use to the side, so I don't have to think about it. I already just have it right there in plain sight. Also, when I do dimensional analysis, it's not math to me. I look at it as a puzzle because I want to cross out everything that I'm not looking for. So that's why I start with what I'm looking for. So everything else has to cross out. What's on the bottom has to cross out with what's on the top. Okay. So a quart. So let's see. We've got milliliters and quarts. So we know that an ounce is 30 mLs. We know that there is 8 ounces in 1 cup. We know that there are 2 cups in 1 pint, and then there are 2 pints in 1 quart. Okay, so that's the kind of thinking process that you have to go when you have like a complicated conversion like this one. You got to write out all your steps on the side. Okay, so that's why I say it's kind of good to know so you can see, because like I said, we putting puzzle pieces together. We're not doing math right now. So if I'm looking for milliliters, I'm going to start with my milliliters. So look at here. That's what I have milliliters. So I'll do 30 mLs over 1 ounce. Then I've got ounces on the bottom, so I need ounces at the top. So I'll do 8 ounces over 1 cup. Your ounces cross out. Now I've got cup at the bottom, so I need cup at the top, right? You see what we're doing? So we'll do this one. 2 cups equals 1 pint. Cups crosses out. Now we've got 1 pint, so we need 2 pints is 1 quart. Your pints cross out. And now we've got quarts left. So we'll use quarts from our original problem. So we'll do the 2 on the top, the 3 at the bottom, like it is on there, quarts. Okay, and your quart has crossed out. Everything is now gone except for milliliters, and that's what you were looking for. Okay, so look at here. When you do these problems, sometimes they can get real long. You can get in the millions, right? So what if you don't put all of your numbers in there and you miss a digit, or you forgot to put a 0 or a 1? You don't want to sit up here and set up your problem and do it the right way and then don't put it in the calculator and end up getting it wrong, because y'all said y'all got to make 95s and 100s. So everything counts, right? So this is Nurse C's calculator trick. I'm going to show you how to put it in the calculator and not have to write down anything. We're going to press the equal sign 1 time, okay? So you'll do all of your numbers across the top. And once you get to the top of the line, you press divide. You don't press equal. Then once you do all of your numbers at the bottom, you press divide. Then once you get to the end, you press the equal sign. So we're going to multiply all the way across the top. 30 times 8 times 2 times 2 times 2. Divide. The ones don't really make a difference, so I don't really put them. You can if you want to, but I don't. Divide by 3. So that's going to be 640 milliliters. Okay? Moving on. Hey, to the people who have come in, I'm Nurse C. This is Dosage Calculations, Study Buddy Sunday. I'm glad you're here. We were asking what program you are in, how is school going, and do you have a dosage calculations test that you have to pass in order to continue with your school program. All right, find the BSA of a patient who weighs 250 pounds and is 6 feet and 2 inches tall. Okay, so BSA, your BSA is going to be meters squared. Okay, so it's going to be the square root of your pounds times inches over 31. Or if you put it in the metric form, it'll be your kilograms times your centimeters divided by 3,600, and you take the square root of that, okay? So we already have pounds, so we need to convert this right here into all inches. So we know that in 1 foot there are 12 inches, right? So we need to convert this part, and then we'll add our 2 inches on. So that's going to be, if we're looking for inches, we'll start with inches. So 12 inches is 1 foot, and then we have 6 feet over 1. Your feet crossed out. 12 times 6 plus 2. 12 times 6 plus 2 is going to be 74 inches, okay? So now you can place it into your formula, and that's it. It doesn't have to be any harder than what it looks like. So 250 times 74 divided by 31, and you take the square root of it. So it's going to be 250 times 74 divided by 31 equals, and that's 5.9. Square root button is going to be 2.43 meters squared. LPN just passed my first dosage calc exam with a 100. Okay, Miss Marita J, that's what's up. I'm so excited for you. I know that's a great burden off of your shoulder. Alrighty, so I got some suggestions off of and requests off the YouTube video of the previous one. So that's why I've included some Celsius to Fahrenheit in military time and BSA. If there are questions that you would like me to work out or specific types, then let me know in the comments. All right, so converting to military time. So, you know, the military time is just basically on the 24-hour clock. So the easy way to remember this is to add 12. So if you're doing 352, just add 12 to it. So 1552. And when you put it in military time, you do not put AM or PM. It is just the number, okay? I seen somebody comment on here before that they didn't pass the test because they had put AM or PM on there. So that is very important to note. All right, so 11:08 p.m. We're going to add 12 to it. So it's going to be 23:08. 12:05 a.m. So we know that midnight is expressed as 0000. So this is going to be 0005. Okay. So 8:45 in the morning, you just put a 0 in front of it. So 08:45. 1:15 p.m. you just add 12. So you're adding 12 to that hour. So it's going to be 13:15. And then 4:26 p.m. add 12 to it. It's going to be 16:26. It don't have to be hard. It does not have to be hard. Okay. And that's important to note because all of your nurses' notes have to be in military time, and you'll have to figure out the time for your IV drug infusion time, and that's how you would add your times together by using military time. All right, so convert the following. So there's really no way around Fahrenheit and Celsius. You just have to know the formulas. That's it. So if we're going from Celsius to Fahrenheit, that's going to be your Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit to Celsius. Sorry, that's going to be your Celsius to Fahrenheit. It's going to be Celsius times 1.8 plus 32. My goodness, get it right. So we want to find Fahrenheit on this one. Y'all, I've had a rough week. I don't know about y'all, but this winter has been really, really tough with sinuses and respiratory infections and strep and all of that in my household. Just been an absolute mess. And then we've had a stomach bug going around too. When I say long week, I mean long week. I know y'all's probably looking for me on Wednesday, but I wasn't feeling it. I'm just now getting over the hump. All right, so we're going to Fahrenheit. So that's going to be Celsius. So 38 times 1.8 plus 32. 38 times 1.8 plus 32. So that's going to be 100.4. And then same way, 36 plus 36.5 times 1.8 plus 32. So 36.5 times 1.8 plus 32 is 97.7. All right, and going from Fahrenheit to Celsius is going to be your Fahrenheit minus 32, and then divide that by 1.8. 98.2 minus 32 divided by 1.8. It's going to be 36.7. And then what's that? 101.4, which is a fever, minus 32. All right, 101.4 minus 32 divided by 1.8. It's 38.5. Okay. What kind of nurses do y'all want to be? What specialty do you want to go into? Did you already do the weight-based question you had on my page earlier? What I had on the page earlier? Oh, you talking about the video? No, I haven't done it yet. No, I haven't done it yet. You know, I try to start off slow, but then I pick up the pace. So no, I haven't gotten to those yet. And welcome. How are you doing? Pediatrics and labor and delivery. I always thought dialysis was cool. Okay, come on now. Dialysis is cool. It's just long. I didn't do the dialysis. Like, we were on the floor with nephrology patients and we sent them to dialysis. And, you know, you have to go in there and get them. I'm just like, what y'all doing in here? Okay, good, because I did it and I got something crazy. Oh, gosh. I don't even know if I still have that one. I don't know. It's on here, though. I don't know. Let's see. The provider has ordered 40 milligrams of drug A to be diluted in 8 mLs of normal saline IV push over 6 minutes every 8 hours. Drug A is available 50 milligrams per 2 milliliter. How many milliliters of drug A will the nurse need to draw up? What is the total milliliters that need to be infused? And then how many milliliters per minute will the nurse administer the medication? So this got 3 different questions to it. So basically, you're going to draw up a medicine and then you're going to dilute it with normal saline. So we're going to find out how much of the medicine that we need to draw up, how much is the total volume that'll be after you dilute it, and then how fast are you going to push it. Okay, so part 1 is drug A and how much you need to draw it up. So we have an order for 40 milligrams and it is available as 50 milligrams per 2 milliliter. So part of knowing, part of the problems that a lot of students have is knowing what parts of the question to use. Do you all struggle with that? Trying to figure out what is it that I need to use and how do I apply it to the question? Let's see. So if it's ordered 40 milligrams and we have 50 milligrams per 2 milliliters, I'm looking for how many milliliters to draw up. So I'll start with my milliliters. I always start with my milliliters on the top because that's what I'm looking for. Okay. And I'll put my 40 milligrams on the top over 1 and I'll cross it out. And then what's that? 80 divided by 50, which is 80 divided by 50. Which would be 1.6 milliliters. Yeah. I usually do what I need first. Okay. So so when you kind of know what you're looking for and why you're doing it, it makes sense. Oh, okay, I need these numbers because numbers are they'll just be numbers. If you don't know, like, okay, this is this part, this is the medicine, this is the order. So when you kind of start reading the question, look for those essential parts. Like, what's the order? What is it asking me for? What do I have available? Where is this weight based? What's the patient's weight? Is it in pounds? Is it in kilograms? So then you're like, okay, if it's not asking for milligrams or for capsules or anything else, then why am I using that part? That's usually how you can identify the fluff. I call it fluff, the stuff that's just in there just to be in there and be in your way and cause you to not get your points. Okay, so look for what it is look for what it's asking you for, nothing more and nothing less. Okay, so this is asking us to to draw up some medicine. Ordered amount was 40 milligrams. So we knew this was the order. And then what was available is this. So that's why we did this first part. So it says that we need to dilute it with 8 milliliters of normal saline. So that means that we need to add those two together. We need to add the drug and the normal saline together. So 1.6 plus 8 milliliters is going to be 9.6 milliliters total. Okay, so that was question number 2. What is the total milliliters to be infused? Next, it asks us how many milliliters per minute will the nurse administer the medication. So part of the order told us that this medicine has to go over 6 minutes, okay? This every 8 hours part is what will get you in trouble. Every 8 hours is what we call the frequency. This is how often we are to give this medicine, okay? It's not the duration of the time that it needs to be pushed over. So if it's not asking you about how many times or how many doses or, how many instances that the drug need to be given, that part is considered fluff, okay? So we need to find out 9.6 mLs over 6 minutes. And you break that down and reduce it to the lowest terms, okay? 9.6 divided by 6 is going to be 1.6, yeah, milliliters per minute. 9.6 divided by 6. Okay, I always kind of like to double check it. I kind of get like OCD. Like, okay, make sure I didn't type it in wrong. All right, so does this question make sense? I wish I found you when I was in school trying to be an MA. I hated doing these. Well, you're here now, Cashy. How are you? Thank you for joining in tonight. All righty. I subscribe for when I go back to school. Okay, are you going back to nursing school? Very helpful. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your kind comments. Y'all throw some likes out there for me so other people like Kashi and other nursing students or aspiring MAs, respiratory therapists. Y'all, we've had doctors on here. Like, I was so floored when I seen that. Like, what? You come in here, do dosage calculations with me? Well, come on. Let's do it. All right, so this is pediatric fluid maintenance for those nurses who said that they want to work in labor and delivery in pediatrics. It ain't my thing, but hey, we all got a place to fit in. You're taking your, hold on, I missed some comments, my bad. Just signed in. Is this dimensional analysis? Yes, Tony, it is whatever you need it to be, but mostly dimensional analysis. In my first semester for fundamentals, okay. That's what's up. I just got on. Are you going to do another? Yes, I have. I have a whole handful of more problems. So yeah. Do you have anything for med surg? I don't. Dosage calc is my baby. That's what I'm pouring my all into. Y'all tearing me up too. I'm like, I need more questions. I need to do like more videos. It's hard, but I'm doing it. Here we are. Like I said, I had a rough week. I didn't come on Wednesday. I usually am on Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, 8 p.m. on Wednesday for Work It Out Wednesday. But like I said, it was rough. It was rough, but we're here. All right, so pediatric fluid maintenance, okay? This is how much fluid that you're going to need for a 24-hour period, okay? So there are usually three formulas that you would use. You got the one for the 10 kilograms of weight or less, the 11 to 20 kilograms, and the greater than 21 kilograms, okay? So our patient is 18.6 kgs. So that means that they're going to get 1,000 milliliters right off the bat, plus 50 milliliters per kilogram of weight that is over 10 kilograms. Sorry, I had to slow down. So we know that 18.6 minus 10 is going to be 8.6 kgs, right? So we'll do 50 mLs per kilogram times 8.6 kgs. Your kilograms have crossed out. So we'll do 50 times 8.6, and that's 430. And then you're going to add this to this. So total, they'll get this much fluid in a 24-hour period, okay? And if it asks you on that same question to find the rate that it's going over, that is the rate right there. I'm disappearing. That is the rate right there at the bottom. So you'll do your 1430 divided by 24, and that's going to give you 59.5. Or if it asks you to round to the nearest whole number, it'll be 60 milliliters per hour, okay? That's how you do that. Anybody have any questions? Okay, Dana, where did you get the milliliter, the thousand? So if they're over 10, if they're over 10 kgs, from 11 kgs to 20 kgs, they automatically get 1,000 mLs of fluid plus 50 milliliters per kilogram. That's just how some scientific person came up with the amount of fluid that they'll need to have. So just like if they were over 21 kgs, they get 1,500 off the bat plus 20 milligrams per kilogram. And if they were like 3.5 kgs to 10, they get 100 milligrams per kilogram. So that's how that works. I'll be sure to pass your page. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate your referrals, your likes, your shares. Definitely get the word out. We trying to pass dosage. We trying to get these LPNs, these RNs. We trying to get it popping, because you know what? I've been in this game for 14 years going on. March 30th, 14 years. And I'm tired. So y'all need to come help me. We short too. Come on. Pass these dosage. Pass these dosages. Dosages. Please do another example. I missed it. Jazz, you can look at the replay on my YouTube channel. A Blessed RN. It's the same name, and I have the previous sessions on there as well. So if you want to go back and look at different sessions that I have and different problems, they're there. So you can slow them down. You can rewrite it, rework it, and I've also got different problems worked out just individually on different videos and playlists for dimensional analysis, ratio and proportion, and desired over half. All right. Tube feeding. A nurse is preparing a tube feeding with a total amount of 350 mLs at 75% strength. The full strength of the tube feeding is available in the 360 ml container. How many milliliters of the diluted feeding will be water? How many milliliters will be feeding? Okay, so this is asking us to prepare in total 350 milliliters. So we know that when we try to weaken something, you add water to it. So we want 75% of that 350% to be tube feeding. Then the rest of it has to be water, because the water dilutes it and makes it weak. Okay, so that's what we're working with. That's why we're finna do what we're gonna do. So what we need to do is set up a ratio. Okay, so if we got 75 over 100. Anything over 100 is going to be your percent, right? Because per means for 100, right? Per 100, percent. Cent is centi, like centimeter, you know? All right, so percent is 75 over 100. And then we've got 350 mLs total. So we're trying to figure out what is 75%. So that's going to be X, okay? So on this ratio and proportion problem, we're going to cross multiply. So it's going to be 100X, and then whatever 75 times 350 is. I think is this number right here. Oh, see, yep, okay, all right. Okay, so long number, right? So then we want to get X by itself. So it's an equation sign, right? An equal sign. One, what we do to one side, we have to do to the other, because it has to be equal. So we're going to divide each side by 100 in order to get X by itself. So that divided by 100 is going to be 262.5 mLs, okay? So that means this part is going to be tube feeding, okay? Because that's 75%. Well, not tube feeding, what the feeding or whatever, okay? So we want to know how much of it is going to be water. So that means you would take your total amount minus 262.5 mLs of the Ensure, and that's going to give you, or the tube feeding, that's what we use. We use Ensure, Jevity, Vital AF, and like every time I see Vital AF, I'm like, they Vital AF. But anyway, okay, sorry. You'll see it when you work on the floor. You're like, that's Vital AF. All right, so feeding. All right. 350 minus 262.5 is going to be 87.5 mLs of water. So, yes, Jojo. Yes, Kashi. Yes. About to start college soon for nursing. Do I need to study this for free? Yeah, it would benefit you. Yeah, because you're going to see it. You're going to see it when you get into nursing school. You might use dimensional analysis or stoichiometry in chemistry. That might help you with that, with the dimensional analysis part. But you really won't see dosage until you get into your program. And welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. All right, y'all throw some likes out if this is helping you so far. Let your friends know, your cohort know. All right, weight base. You know, these are my favorite. Yes, study dosage exam is no joke. People it gets people dropped. It does. And, you know, that's why I started this, because I see like a lot of people, they would talk about dosage and, you know, how distraught they were. And I was like, I know how to do this. I need to do this. And my husband, he said, go ahead. I said, all right, I'm going to do it. And now here we are. And I appreciate y'all for your support so much. All right, weight-based. A provider has ordered drug P, 2.5 milliequivalents. Oh, it's a milliequivalent. It's just a unit of measure. Don't let that throw you off, okay? Per kilogram per day, by mouth, divided into equal doses every 6 hours to a child who weighs 85 pounds. Available is drug P, 40 milliequivalents per 15 mLs. How many milliliters should the nurse administer per dose? All right, so this is one of those problems, right? It's long and it's weight-based. So what is it asking me? That's the first thing we should identify. What's this asking me to find? Milliliter per dose. So milliliter over dose. That's what we want our question to look like when we solve it, okay? So Jojo, my philosophy is the less steps that you take, the less mistakes that you make. We're not going to touch the weight. We gonna let the math it out, okay? Because like I said, even with the calculator thing, what if you convert the weight and you don't write it down right? What if you don't add enough decimals? What if you round up? You know that in pediatrics, it's very specific to the weight. Sometimes they want you to go to the hundreds place. So what this is gonna do is gonna take care of all of that inside of it, okay? And then you only have to do one thing. It's just solve your puzzle and then multiply and divide. You got to break it down into different steps, okay? All right, so our PPP, patient prescription product. So our patient's weight is 85 pounds. Our prescription is 2.5 milliequivalents per kilogram per day, and then our product is 40 milliequivalents over 15 milliliters. All right, so check this out. We always want to start with what we're looking for. If you start with what you're looking for, you ain't got to go and find it, okay? I know I'm a little country, but you understand what I'm saying. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? All right. 15 milliliters is going to go on top of the 40 milliequivalents. Now, these right here, these are your puzzle pieces, and they're in relationships. In 2024, we're staying together, okay? We're not breaking up happy homes. We're gonna keep them together. We can flip-flop them, but you don't separate them, okay? So, this one is going to go first. 15 mLs is going to go on the top because I'm looking for milliliters. So 40 milliequivalents goes on the bottom. Now, you got milliequivalents on the bottom. You want milliequivalents on the top because we want everything to cross out except for milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom. So I'll use this one right here. 2.5 milliequivalents per kilogram per day. Milli equivalent crosses out. Boom. So we've used that. Now we got milliliters on the top, which is part of our goal, but we need dose on the bottom, right? So also we need to note that in one day, there are going to be 4 doses because it says that we're given this in equal doses every 6 hours. So 24 hours divided by 6 hours is going to be 4. So we'll give this medicine 4 times in a day. That's where that comes from, okay? All right, so back to the problem. We got kilograms and we got days at the bottom. So we need to get rid of kilograms and days because they're not part of our goal. So we got weight, and the weight is in pounds. So we'll do 1 kg over 2.2 pounds. Kgs cross out. Now we got our 85 pounds. Pounds cross out. And then we have day, okay? So now we got 1 day has 4, let's move this, 4 doses. So now days cross out and we have dose at the bottom and milliliter at the top, which is what your goal is. So now we can finally do some math, okay? Because we weren't doing math before. Now we can do our math. So we'll do 15. Just in case you weren't here for the calculator trick earlier, I believe, like I said, the less steps that you take, the less mistakes that you make. So we're putting everything in the calculator and pressing the equal sign only one time. So it's going to be 15 times 2.5 times 85 divide 40 divide 2.2 divide 4 equals. And I got 9.05. All right, let's do a rounding lesson. If we're rounding this to the nearest whole number, what is our answer? Yes. Nine mLs per dose. Anybody have a question on how we solve this problem? And why we did what we did. Y'all, I got a ponytail and I like it. You see me slaying it? Okay, I'm going to stop cutting up. Oh. No questions, no questions. Just got here. Please do another one. Hey, thank you. It's cute. Thank you. Thank you. I was really humble when I took my hair down and I saw these gray hairs. I was like, oh, my mortality has showed up. So you don't have to convert first. Gotcha. Yes. You see what I'm saying, JoJo? Don't add more things to do. Just do what you need to do to line them up and cross it out. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Cherie, for the gift. But yeah, just go ahead, take everything that you have and make sure that it lines up and it crosses out except for what it is that you're looking for. Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Do I have another weight base? Yeah, I do. Okay. A provider orders drug A, 80 micrograms per kilogram per day, to be given every 6 hours for 7 days for a patient that weighs 32 kgs. Drug A is available in the concentration of 10 milligrams per 2 mLs. How many milliliter per day will be administered? So you just divide the 24 hours by the 6. Yes, and that tells you how many doses are in a day. Absolutely. So if it was every 8 hours, that would be 24 divided by 8. So that would be 3 doses in a day. If it was every 12 hours, 24 divided by 12. So that's 2 doses in a day. 24 divided by 4. So that'd be 6 hours in a day. 6 doses in a day. Sorry, not 6 hours in a day. That'll make sense. My bad. All right. So what is this asking us? That's what we need to find out. Our goal. How many mLs per day? All right. So PPP, patient prescription product. Our patient's weight, 32 kgs. Our prescription is 80 mics per kg per day. 80 micrograms per kg per day. All right. And then our product is 10 milligrams over 2 mLs, okay? So I think that's all we have been given. So on this one, it's not, this part confuses me. What part, JoJo? What part confuses you? Let's make it plain as day. So look, this isn't asking about a dose, is it? So this part don't even matter. And it's not asking about how many days. We just said per day. So all that part right there, you don't even need this one, okay? So if it's asking for the dose, then you need to see the frequency because you're trying to see how many doses you're doing in a day. All right, so we're looking for milliliters, right? So we'll start with our milliliters. So that's going to be 2 mLs over 10 milligrams. All right, cross that out. Remember, you can flip-flop these to fit in your puzzle how you need them to. All right. Oh, now look, we have milligrams on the bottom, but in our prescription we have micrograms. So you can't put microgram on the top and expect for it to cross out with milligram on the bottom, can you? Nope. So therefore you have to put in a conversion right here. So we'll do milligrams on the top, micrograms on the bottom. 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. So the 1 goes by the biggest unit of measure. So it takes 1,000 little microgram crumbs to make a 1 big old milligram cookie, right? Take a whole bunch of little crumbs to come together and make 1 cookie. That's how I remember where the 1 goes. Where does the 1,000 go? You know, if you get confused. All right, so milligram has been crossed out. So now we got micrograms. All right, so 80 micrograms per kilogram per day. Remember, we keep all of our relationships together. Micrograms crossed out. If you're doing dimensional analysis and you're not writing your units by your numbers, then I implore you to just stop. Don't do that. Put your units. The units is where the juice is. That is the important part because you can't solve your puzzle and cross out stuff without knowing what the units are. The numbers are going to number. They're going to math at the end. But right now you need the units. So write your units out, okay? All right, so we got kgs and days at the bottom, right? So kg has to go, but days can stay. We have kilograms, so we'll do 32 kilograms. It's not in a relationship. It's by itself, so I'll stick that bad boy over 1. Kg crosses out, and now we're left with mLs on the top and days on the bottom, which is our goal. And now we can do some math. Marciana says the safe dose gets me every time. What about safe dose is confusing to you? It's a lot. You're not by yourself. But I just want to know what makes it confusing to you, so we can talk about it. All right. So 2 times 80 times 32 divided by 10 divided by 1,000 is going to be 0.51 mLs per day. 2 times 80 times 32 divide 10 divided by 1,000. So 0.5. Is that what y'all got? Does anybody need any help with rounding tonight? That's what I got. Hey, turn up. Okay. GTT per minute. So drug B, 1.5 grams, ordered IV PB in 500 milliliters every 8 hours over 4 hours. The IV tubing has a drop factor of 15 drops per ml. What will the nurse set as the rate in drops per minute? Okay, so this one is asking us to find drops on the top, raindrop, drop top, all that stuff, and over minute. All right, so look, let me show you how to find the fluff in these problems. Okie dokie. So listen, when you're doing a IV problem, you're trying to find out how much volume, so that's going to be milliliters, is going in over a certain amount of time. So that's going to be your minutes or your hours. If it is a pump question, it's going to be milliliters over hour. If it's going via gravity, the question will have a drop factor in it, and it'll ask you for drops per minute. Okay, so this one says all of this, which is garbage, garbage, garbage. We don't care. We don't care. So we got volume, and then this is frequency. Remember, every 8 hours. So that's how often you're going to give it. But it didn't say over. It said over 4 hours. So it literally told you to put 500 mLs over 4 hours. Okay. So then you have your drop factor, which is 15 drops per ml. Okay. So we're looking for drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. We'll start with our drops on the top. So 15 drops per milliliter. All right. Now we've got milliliter on the bottom. We need milliliter on the top. So 500 ml over 4 hours. Milliliters crossed out. Now we have hours on the bottom, but we need minutes on the bottom, right? Yes, you do. So therefore, we'll put hours on the top and minutes on the bottom. In 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. Your hours cross out, and now we have goal. And you can do your math now. So let's see, 15 times 500 divided by 4 divided by 60. That's going to be 31.25, right? Kimberly, your 8 hours is your frequency. That's how often you would give this medicine. That's not the time that it is to be infused over. Does that make sense? Because we want to know the volume, how much, over how long it's going to take that IV medicine to run in. So, have you ever gone to the kitchen and you seen 0.25 of a drop? You're like, oh, that's a fourth of a drop that just dropped in the sink. No. So, it's either a drop or it's not. So, therefore, if you have the decimal, you have to round to the nearest whole number. So, our nearest whole number would be 31 drops per minute. Aaron, 500 times 15 over 4 times 60. It's way easier. Yeah, that's what we did. Right? This is what we did? Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Peds safe dose. Here y'all go. Did y'all ever ask me? That's what I thought. That's what I did. Now I have to go back and check because sometimes when I'm in the zone and I go fast, I'm human. I can make mistakes. So that's why I was like, okay, is that what we did? All right. So Peds dose, safe dose. Did y'all? No, I didn't even. I don't recall seeing anybody say anything about what is the difference in safe dose. Okay, what's difficult about safe dose, but Peds safe dose. So the thing about these are you're going to be given an order. Is this one like that? This one is just going to ask how much you have to administer per day. So basically, you're going to be given an order by the provider. And your job is to see is that order within the safe zone. Okay? So if it's in the safe zone, you can give it. If it's not, you cannot. Okay? So what you're doing is using what has been determined by the drug manufacturer to be safe by using the weight. Okay, so that's going to be your safe zone. Anything outside of that you can deem as not safe. Am I live on YouTube now? Yes, I am. It is on, and then once the live is finished, it'll be there for replay. Can you do more drops per minute questions? You have an exam on over there on Tuesday. I think I can squeeze in a little bit. All right, so this one is saying that medication has been ordered by mouth to a client who weighs 25 pounds. Okay, it's always going to be weight based. The medicine reference states that the safe dose range is 2.5 to 6 milligrams per kilogram per day in divided doses every 6 to 8 hours. What is the maximum safe dose the nurse should expect to administer per day? So we want to know how many milligrams can we administer per day. So this is going to be a range. Why Can't you round milliliters or tabs? You can round milliliters. Now tabs, they have to be scored. They're either 1.5 or it's, you know what I'm saying, like you don't round those. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's either it or not because they're a tablet. I passed my NCLEX. Yay! Awesome. Congratulations. I'm so excited for you. What type of nurse specialty are you going into? Do you have a job yet? Are you excited? You bought some scrubs? You bought some nurse nail? I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Okay, so back to the question. We're looking for milligrams per day. So we're going to use this right here to figure out our safety net, okay? So we're going to use the least amount. That's going to be your lower end. That's going to be your lower limit. That's the least that they can have. And then we're going to use the 6 milligrams, and that's going to be the most that they can have in the day, okay? So it'll be 2.5 milligrams per kg per day, okay? So our patient's weight is in pounds, so we know that 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds, and then our patient's weight is 25 pounds. So kgs cross out, pounds cross out, and then we're left with how many milligrams per day. So we'll do 2.5 times 25 divided by 2.2, which is 28.4 milligrams per day. And then we'll do the same thing, you're welcome, with the 6 milligrams. So 6 mgs per kg per day times 1 kilogram over 2.2 pounds. Kgs cross out, 25 pounds. It's 1. Okay, so 6 times 25 divided by 2.2 is 68.18 milligrams per day. So this is your safety net, 28.4 to 68.18. So everything that is at those two numbers or in between is the safe zone. So if this were, if they said that the order was to give such and such and it was like 80 milligrams per day, that's outside. That's too much. It's toxic. So it's not safe. Or if it was like 12 or something, that's not safe either because it's below. So anything that is not at those numbers or in between is not safe. I hope that makes sense. I would say be safe, nurse. NCLEX is not knowledge-based, but just be able to know what action you take and what you reach your patient and make you prioritize. A new NGN, you will see a lot of case studies. Oh, I'm kind of glad I ain't had to take this next gen. Like, you get partial credit, I heard, but like I heard it was very lengthy, you know. But congratulations on your success. I'm so excited for you. I know you're glad to have school and NCLEX and all that behind you. All right, here we go. Microgram per kilogram per minute. So for peds, I thought you would round down. So 6.18 will be 6. Amory, different schools or HESI or ATI or whatever, they tell you to round differently. So I just kind of leave it there. I write out my decimals, and, we want to round to this, we can round to this, we can practice the rounding. I just kind of leave it kind of as a general thing. But it just depends on what they're asking you to do. I've never been a peds nurse and do not desire to be a peds nurse, but I know some of them do go to the hundreds because they want to be that specific because it is a pediatric client. Exactly, for partial credit, I was making sure to choose only what I was 100% sure of. Man, had your nerves all jacked up. All right, here, microgram per kilogram per minute. A patient who weighs 175 pounds is receiving an IV medicine infusing at 35 mLs per hour. The medicine is provided in the concentration of 400 milligrams per 250 mLs. How many micrograms per kilogram per minute is the patient receiving? How many of you are confident that you can solve this problem by just looking at it? Like, if this was to pop up on your test, would you skip it and come back to it, or would you say, I know how to solve this, and go ahead and solve it? You think you can? Okay. Anybody else? This is a safe space. You can talk. You can say. You can tell. We're not gonna put you out. We're not gonna ridicule you. We're not gonna put you on the spot. Nope. That's okay. I think I can. ATI won't let you come back. What? Oh, ATI won't let you come back. I understand. So it's like either you do it or you don't. Gotcha. Yeah, I would need help. Okay, so look. We're going to solve this problem. And that's the beauty of dimensional analysis. Now, it's a no for me. It's no for me. All right, but we're going to solve this problem, and we're going to solve it like the puzzle that it is, okay? So just like we did these other problems before, big, no, not little. Y'all be tripping me out. All right, so look, this is what I want y'all to get into the habit of doing. Looking at the problem, seeing what the goal is, writing out your relationships to the side. Then we're going to set it up according to what our goal is, and everything that is not on our goal has to go. We solving puzzles here, okay? I'm not even doing math. You don't see me. You don't see me doing math. You see me doing puzzles, okay? All right, so goal is microgram on the top, kilogram, and minutes on the bottom. So that's what we want to be left with, okay? All right, so check this out. Our patient's weight is 175 pounds, right? So PPP, or use what you got. 35 mLs per hour is what it's going at. And your medicine is 40 milligrams per 250 mLs, right? So we are looking for micrograms to be at the top and kilograms and minutes to be at the bottom. We don't see micrograms anywhere in sight, but we're going to put them in there, okay? We're going to start off with what we're looking for. So we got micrograms over milligrams because this part is in milligrams, all right? So we'll do 1,000 mics is 1 milligram. Then we'll put our milligram, 400 milligrams over 250 milliliter, because we're crossing it out. Now what's our next puzzle piece? We got milliliters at the bottom. So we need to get rid of those, don't we? So we'll do 35 mLs per hour. Milliliters are now gone. Do you see why it's so important to write out your units, right? So now we got micrograms at the top. We need kilograms and minutes at the bottom. All right. So we have hours at the bottom. So we'll put hours at the top and minutes at the bottom. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. Boom, boom. So now we got minutes. So the next thing that we need to have is kilograms. And our patient's weight is in pounds. So that's fine. We'll do pounds at the top and kilograms at the bottom. We know that 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So then our patient's weight is 175 pounds. We know that needs to go at the bottom. So it could cross out with your pounds that's on the top. And what's left is micrograms on the top, kilograms, and minutes at the bottom. And y'all just solved this problem. Look at that. Doing my little calculator trick, because it just took me less than 2 minutes to set this up. Getting all my points, making 100. Yup. All of that. I got 11.73. You don't need to know how to use this as a nurse. No. Just depends on what type of nurse you are. I know some of the cancer drugs you do have to oncology drugs you do have to do calculations for. You have your dosage test tomorrow. Okay, you're welcome. Let's pass these tests. Can you show how you multiply and divide? Yeah. Please, Darnasia, Don't make me holler because that comment just really took me out. Oh, Lord. Have mercy. Okay, so listen, who was that who asked me? Oh my goodness. Denise. So what I do, wait a minute, I'm still tickled. Okay, so what I do is I put everything in the calculator and I don't write it down, okay? I'm going to multiply all of my numbers across the top. And when I get to that last number, I'm going to hit divide. I'm not going to hit equals. So I'll do 1,000 times 400 times 35 times 2.2. I don't use the ones either because they don't make a difference. Divide. Because you got like 30,800,000 and all them zeros. So what if you didn't put all the zeros down on the paper and then you put it back in the calculator? You get it wrong, right? So divide 250, divide 60, divide 175, and I got 11.73. I'm so bad at math. That's okay. You don't have to be good at math to do dosage calculations. We're just solving puzzles here and multiplying and dividing. That's it. That is it. Oh my gosh, y'all. Will this be on my YouTube? Yes, it's on there now. And it'll be there when we get done. Sure will. So you see how you would set this up. It's not doing math. You know what I'm saying? It's setting it up and solving by crossing out your units until you get to that goal. That goal is what the question is asking you. Nothing more, nothing less, okay? So if this asks us to round to the nearest tenth, what would our answer be? I can't wait till I can give back. Absolutely, it's fulfilling, and you get to meet so many cool people. I promise you, the students that I get to tutor, and you see their progress and stuff. It's a blessing to be a blessing. I'm telling you, because of you, I get math now. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad I can help. I'm glad it makes sense. I get the last part, setting it up would have been a problem for me. Yeah. But I mean, just like you just use the laws that you have. Remember, you can flip flop things. 175 was not in a relationship, it was single. So in a normal problem, we would have put that one on the bottom. This instance, our pounds had to be at the bottom, so they'll cross out with your pounds at the top. So you just flip flop that bad boy, and that's how you do it. Um Happy I came across your live. We're about to have a lecture on this, and look, you're gonna be ahead of the game, Brett. Brett. Hey, I'm excited you're here. Thank you for joining, y'all. If y'all learned how to do this problem with me tonight, throw some likes out into the universe so other nursing students can come and fellowship and learn how to do these dosage calc problems. I appreciate it. So helpful. Thank you. Yep. So to be 11.8 if it was rounded to the nearest tenth. Absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. And these are my favorite types to do. I see people, they post it and it's kind of like an addiction. Like, oh, I need help doing this one. I'm like, I ain't got time. I was like, I gotta do it. So here's another one. We get another chance to practice what we learned, okay? Let's see. What days and times do you go live? Sunday, Study Buddy Sundays is at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Work It Out Wednesdays is Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. This past week, I was a little under the weather, so it's maturing. It was a long week, and I didn't make it. But we're here tonight. Y.8. Oh, did I say 0.8? I thought it was 11 point. I thought I was reading 11.8. It was 11.3. I mean 11.7 because it was 11.73. That 3 would have made the 7 stay at where it was at. Sorry. I was reading, y'all. The if we were rounding that last problem, sorry, here we go. Let's do some clarification. So if we were rounding this problem right here to the nearest tenth, that would be round right. So you go to the right and you see what that number is, this number is a 3. If it is 4 and below, that number that you're rounding stays the same. If it's 5 and above, you bump it up. So it's going to be 11.7 mics per kg per minute. I'm sorry. Sometimes we go fast. You're like, hold on. Wait a minute. All right, so let's do another one, okay? Well, there's my Canva and my Bible and my notes. All right, let's do this one. A client who weighs 222 pounds is receiving an IV infusion of drug Z at 25 mLs per hour. The IV solution is labeled with the concentration of drug Z, 250 milligrams per 500 milliliters. How many micrograms per kilogram per minute is the patient receiving, or the client receiving? Okay. Do y'all like saying patient, or do you like saying client? I like saying patient. The new stuff says client, but I say they my patients. I say the people that I take in my vans, they're clients, because I'm not their nurse. I'm their transportation provider. So those are my clients. But the people who I take care of in the hospital, they my patient. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're my patients. I don't know. Like, this is my client, my sick client. I don't know. Anywho, let's do this. So, goal. Micrograms on the top. We want kilograms and minutes on the bottom, right? Okay. So, our patient's weight is 222 pounds. And we've got 25 milliliters going an hour. And we've got 250 milligrams per 500 milliliters. So we are looking for micrograms. Can you set it up like order available given? Absolutely not. It ain't gonna work with this one. It is not gonna work with this one, because you're trying to find microgram per kilogram per minute. Ain't no D over V over H nowhere to be found. And that's why I be trying. I'm glad you said that. Oopsies, ZZ, oopsies. What you there? Because a lot of people say, oh, you could just do desired over half. Well, desired over half runs out. And it runs out when you get to stuff like this. Okay? So, hey, Dina. It's nice to meet you. I was a pharmacy technician. I want to be a pharmacist once upon a time too. But you know what stopped me? Physics. Physics. I said, I can't do physics. Yeah, you're welcome. I did. Alabama has 2 pharmacy schools in the state. They have Auburn, War Eagle, and Sanford. Sanford was private. Auburn was public. Had to go to Auburn if I was going to go, because my dad was in the military. I used my GI Bill for school. And Auburn had physics. I said, no, thank you. Sanford was too high. So guess where we at? We nursing. So, hey. Yeah, I must respect to the pharmacists. We're going to call y'all a lot and get on your nerves after looking for medicines that y'all already tubed up. Okay, so micrograms. We don't have micrograms anywhere to be found, but we're still going to put them, right? So that's going to be micrograms at the top and milligrams at the bottom. So 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. All right. And we got milligrams at the bottom now, so we need milligrams at the top. So 250 milligrams over 500 mLs. So milligrams cross out. Now we have milliliters. So milliliters has to go to the top. So 25 mLs over hour. Milliliters cross out. You see, we're not doing math, okay? We're not doing math at all. We're just solving a puzzle. All right, we got hours at the bottom. We need minutes at the bottom, right? So we'll put our hours up there and we'll put our minutes down here. 1 hour is 60 minutes. Boom, boom. Now we need kilograms. And we got pounds and kgs. So it's 2.2 pounds, 1 kg. And our patient's weight is 222 pounds. Boom, boom, boom. So now we have micrograms, minutes, and kgs. And we are ready to solve. Dina, baby, my pharmacy dreams are over. I just call and that's what it is. I'm gonna dial that extension every time. I don't care. They probably get tired of me. I'm like, yeah, is this compatible? Well, can't you look it up? I just want to be sure before I do this. Man, I think it would have been cool to be in a hospital setting because it's so much different. What the heck did I put? It was so much different than retail. But I'm glad that you got past this part. How many more years do you have in your program? 500 divided by 60 divided by 222. Is this what y'all got? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Let's see what we got in the comments. Desire over half is easier, but laugh out loud. Agree, it would not help you with other questions. Right. It is easier, and like you can use it for a lot of things, but yeah, it ain't gonna get you there on this one. I do King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. They got something about Kevin Hart drinks cranberry martinis or something. I don't know. I've seen it before, and it'll pop up every now and then, but I don't even use that. Would we see these type of questions in critical care? Yes, yes. Do you have these blank problems posted? No, I don't. I'm working on like developing my website more because I do private tutoring and offering more resources. But no, I don't have them anywhere. I can use a calculator. Is there a way that you can shorten the puzzle with figuring out the weight first? Well, you could, but then that adds in another step, Denise. And my philosophy is the less steps that you take, the less mistakes you are likely to make. That's adding something totally different than go ahead and putting this in the puzzle, crossing it out, and let your fingers do the walking across the calculator. Are you multiplying the top row and dividing the bottom row? Shelby. So this is what I do. I don't like to write down because like this got into like the millions, right? And that's a lot of digits to write down. So if you don't put it back in the calculator right, you get the problem wrong after you set it up immaculately. So we're going to put everything in the calculator and only press the equal sign one time. So you do 1,000 times 250 times 25 times 2.2. Divide. 500 divide 60 divide 222 equals, and that'll give you your answer. So you multiply everything on the top and then you hit divide on everything on the bottom and then hit the equal sign one time. So 1,000 micrograms came from where? It's a conversion. We needed micrograms, but it was nowhere to be found. But we always want to start with what you're looking for because then if you start with what you're looking for, you don't have to go and find it. So we needed micrograms on the top. So we went ahead and put our micrograms on the top. Then you see how it lined up with everything else, just was on the bottom and on the top, and it crossed out. So 1,000 micrograms is 1 milligram. That is your conversion. If you are what you say you are, a superstar, have no fear. Hey, y'all superstars. Makes sense. Great. I'm excited. Let's see how many more questions we got. We got 2 more to go, and then I think somebody asked if we do some more drops per minute. And I got you. If you're still here. If you're here, say hey. What are some good sources for these type of question examples? The Quizlet. Now, I make up these because I have to post these, and I don't want anybody coming for me. But they do have like questions and answers already, put up there. You can type what it is that you're looking for in Google and like say weight-based dosage calc and then put Quizlet and then it'll pop up the different sets and you can practice like that. Can you post these after or no? Yeah, they'll be on my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN, and there are other sessions that I have done before. posted on there, and I have problems that are broken down in playlists by dimensional analysis, ratio and proportion, and desired over half. All right, IV completion time. This one was a weird one, but yeah, I wanted to do it to show you. 1,000 mLs infusion of normal saline is started at 9:05 at the rate of 125 mLs per hour. The ordering prescriber instructs the nurse to add 125 milligrams of Med C to the IV when the fluid volume is 250. At what time should the nurse add Med C to the IV? So this thing is kind of different, and I had a problem that was sent to me this week by another student. She was like, what is this? And I was like, I've never seen any type like this before, but it makes sense of what they're trying to do. Okay, so basically you have a 1,000 ml bag and it's going at 125 milliliters, and you started at this time. They want you to, when it's gone down to 250 mLs, to stop it and add a medicine to it so that the medicine can run into it, into the patient to finish out the bag, right? So therefore, we need to see how much time will it take for the bag to be complete, how much time will it take for it to be 250 milliliters, and then what time will that be on the clock, okay? All right, so if we have 125 mLs per hour, and we've got a bag that's 1,000 mLs per hour, we want to know hours, so the goal. So we'll flip that upside down. 125 mLs times 1,000 milliliters over 1. Milliliters crosses out, so 1,000 divided by 125 is going to be 8 hours, right? So if you've got 8 hours and then we want 250 milliliters, so 1,000 minus 250 is 750, right? So we want to know how much. Why did I subtract? Because we want to know what time. We want to know at what time will it take for that is infusing. How long will that take until it gets down to the 250? Because you're trying to find what time that you will stop your bag to add the medicine to it. Does that make sense? This hurts my head. Never mind, I see it. So basically, if you got 8 hours for 1,000 milliliters. If you were trying to see how much 750 mLs takes, 8 times 750 divided by 1,000. It'll take 6 hours, right? So if you add 6 hours to 9:05, then that's what, 17? No, sorry, not 17. 15:05. Yeah. You get it? You get it? Get it? Get it? Jesus the Snowman. All right. Yeah, this hurts my head. But that's why I say it helps. Yes, 305. It helps when you know what it is that you're looking for and why you're looking for it. That was the first time I had ever seen a problem like that. I don't think this will be on your test tomorrow. Because like I said, that was wild to me. I said, I got to show the folks how to do this one. Because like I was like, okay, wait a minute now. All right, patient is receiving an IV infusion of 500 mLs D5W at 75 mLs per hour. The infusion was started at 10:30. What time will the infusion be completed? So we're looking for time here, right? So our goal is going to be hours. So we've got 500 mLs, and it's going at 75 milliliter per hour, and it starts at 10:30. So we're looking for hours. So we'll put our hours on the top. So that's why I said write out your elements to the side so you can see what you're working with. Hours, we flip-flopped it, so we put the hours on the top. 500 mLs. Your mLs cross out. So it's going to be 500 divided by 75. And that's 6.6 repeating hours. So we need to find out the exact hours and minutes on here, okay? So this part is your minutes. This part is your hours. So everything behind the decimal, we're going to multiply by 60 to get the exact minutes, okay? So that's going to be 0.6 repeating. It is going to be times 60, and it's going to be 39.96. So that's 40 minutes, okay? So it's 6 hours and 40 minutes for completion time. If you start at 10:30, you got to add these two together, right? So if you add 30 minutes plus 40 minutes, you're going to get 70 minutes. Well, what is 70 minutes? I don't know. I'm just looking at this trying to pass dosage calculations, child. All right, so look. This is your minute side, and this is your hour side. So what I like to do, if it's too much on the minute side, it's going to carry over. You know how you have to carry over the one and all that stuff? So I'm just going to say 10:30 plus 6:30, right? So we know that's going to be a whole nother hour added on. So that'll be my 1700, right? And then we still got 10 more minutes. So 17 plus those 10 minutes is going to be 1710. The goal is hour because it's the only one that has the line in it. The goal is hour because it's asking for your time. You got to figure out how much time does it take for the IV to infuse. I just got accepted for my LPN program, and this hurts my head. Don't let it hurt your head. It's a lot, but it can be done. It can be done, and it doesn't have to be hard. I'm just here to get a feel of what I'm going to be learning. Well, welcome and congratulations again. Okay? These ones stress me out. All right, so I think you asked me for some more drops per minute questions. Drops per minute. I don't see it. Infusion trial, drip factor. Boom. Okay. So to calculate the IV flow rate for 1,200 mLs of normal saline to be infused in 6 hours, the infusion set is calibrated for a drop factor of 15 drops per ml. All right, so we're looking for drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. Okay, so if we're looking for drops on the top, we'll start with our drops. So we got our drop factor of 15 drops per ml, and then we've got our rate as 1,200 mLs to be going over 6 hours. All right, so 15 drops per milliliter. Milliliters at the bottom, we need milliliters at the top. So we'll do 1,200 mLs over 6 hours. Milliliters cross out. We've got hours at the bottom. We need minutes at the bottom. So we'll do hours at the top, minutes at the bottom. 1 hour over 60 minutes. And now you've got drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. And that's how you do those. 15 drops times 1200 divided by 6 divided by 60. And it's going to be 50 drops per minute. OMG. I'm going to need you. Yes, please come back here. Yes. Please join me. Please join me. Any more requests while I'm going through my repertoire? After the IV infusion, can we do... I just asked. Can I? Okay, we can do OB. What's it? The Pitocin and magnesium questions. Oh, that's a heparin one. How'd that get in there? Infused lactated ringers. 125 mLs an hour via gravity flow using tubing calibrated at 15 drops per ml. Calculate the flow rate in drops per minute. So we're looking for drops on the top and minutes on the bottom. Okay, so 125 mLs is going over an hour, and then we've got 15 drops per milliliter. Okay, so we'll do 15 drops times your 125 ml over hour. Milliliter crosses out, and then we'll do our 1 hour over 60 minutes. Hours crosses out. Now there are formulas that formulas that you can use for IV infusion, right? So milliliter per hour is just going to be that milliliter on the top and hour on the bottom. And for the drops per minute, it's going to be your volume, which is your milliliter, over your time in minutes. So you have to remember to put that in minutes, multiplied by your drop factor. If you don't put your time in minutes, then you're going to mess yourself up. I don't like to memorize formulas because it's 50 other million things in nursing school that you have to memorize and know like the back of your hand. And, if you don't memorize something right, or like, how do you know to put it in minutes at the bottom every time? You might forget. That's why I like dimensional analysis, and that's why I kind of push it. Like I said, I'll break it down in the way that you want me to because I like all of it. But it just makes it easier for students to look and see, you know what I'm saying? Because for me, it wasn't just over in that one semester. I had dosage calculations on all of my exams, like all of them. If I knew I was getting my name right and I knew I was getting those 5 dosage calculations problems right, the rest of it we was gonna have to go to Jesus and prayer. You know what I'm saying? So with dosage, with dimensional analysis, you just solving puzzles. You're looking for what it is that you're looking for, crossing it out using the information that you have, and that's it. So 31 drops per minute. All right. Do one that requires something infused over 90 minutes. They always, what are you talking about? Like the milliliters per hour one or the drops per minute one? Because if it was over 90 minutes, you've got your minutes already. How did you memorize the order for the equations? I don't. Oh, you're talking about the ones I just had? Oh, I mean, because I see it. Like, I tutor dosage students. I look at the stuff, like I go over my thing. So it's kind of in my face. But, like, before I started doing this, I had to refresh on all of that. But I knew dimensional analysis. I knew how to set it up. And the killer thing about it is I hated dimensional analysis in school. Hated it. I liked ratio and proportion and just kind of working it out like mathematically wise. I didn't like dimensional analysis because I didn't know how to set it up, what to use and how to use it and what goes by what. It didn't make sense to me. But now that I know what I know, that you know what they said, when I was a child, I think and I spoke as a child, but when I grew up, this makes so much more sense. Can you do another IV over time one? What you mean, child? Let's see. You talking about the flow rate? Like the, not the flow rate. That's not it. Infusion time, is that what you mean? Milliliter per hour asks how to set the pump up. 1 gram of X is infused over 90 minutes. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Let me see here. Let's do that. So if you had 1 gram and 250 mils, so 250 milliliters over 90 minutes, you are trying to get your hours at the bottom, right? So then you would just put your minute at the top and your hour at the bottom. 60 minutes over 1 minutes crossed out. Now you got milliliter per hour. That's how you do that. Does that make sense, Jake? I'm gonna do an infusion time. Let's see. Calculate. You're welcome. You say y'all so polite. I appreciate it. If y'all like this live and coming on here studying with me, Nursey, y'all throw some likes out there for me. Help me help you. Help me help you. Calculate the infusion time of an IV with a total of 180 mLs left in the bag running at 25 mLs per hour. What is the infusion time? Answer in hours and minutes. Horas y minutos. Okay. So we are looking for time. So that's going to be hours, right? So we got 25 mLs per hour. And we got 180 mLs left. So we're going to flip-flop it. We'll put our hour at the top, our 25 milliliters at the bottom. Our 180 milliliters is not in a relationship. Put it over 1. 180 divided by 225 is going to be 7.2 hours. We know that this right here has got to be multiplied by 60 in order to find out what our exact minutes are. So 0.2 times 60 is going to be 12 minutes. So this is going to take 7 hours and 12 minutes. The one where the times are like 2 hours and 30 minutes, if that makes sense. Kind of like this one. I always overcomplicate it. Yes, Jay, that's what I'm saying. Folks be overcomplicating stuff. It don't have to be hard. It could all be so simple. But we rather make it hard. Let me find this OB question. And then I'll do another milligram per kilogram per minute one. I think I have another one. What am I looking for? Maternal OB. Boom. Okay. So a pregnant client. I didn't like OB in school. Oh my gosh, I didn't like OB in school. Woo! A pregnant client is being induced. The rate of Pitocin order is 2 milliunits per minute. The IV bag is 1,000 mLs with 10 units of Pitocin. At what rate in ml per hour should the IV pump be set? Oh, hold on. I missed 0.2. Okay, it's 5 p.m. somewhere. Yes, child. The 0.2 came from, I think the answer was 7.2. Everything behind the decimal is going to be your minutes. Everything, the whole number part is going to be your hours. In order to answer in hours and minutes, you had to multiply the 0.2 times 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. All right. Y'all had me in the comments. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So here we go. Pregnant client and okay. IV bag is 1,000. Okay. All right. Okay. I read it already. I had to see what I was working with. mLs per hour. That's our goal. Okay. So we've got. Okay, I don't want you to freak out when you see different units of measures. Just like you use the grams and milligrams, a unit and a milliunit is going to be the same thing. It's just a different unit of measure. You still have that same prefix, okay? So we got 2 MUs per minute, and we've got 1,000 mLs with 10 units in it. Okay, so we need to know how to set our pump in milliliter per hour. So we want milliliter at the top. We're going to start with milliliter at the top. So 1,000 mLs over 10 units. Okay? So we can't put a MU over a U, can it? Everything that's on the bottom has to be the same as the top in order to cross it out, right? Right. So therefore, we're going to do it like this. You got units and you got milliunits. I'm not going to write out milliunits, okay? So we know that 1 unit is 1,000 milliunits because you still have that same milli prefix, right? That milli is 1,000. So your units cross out. Now you got 2 MUs over minute. MUs cross out. Now we got milliliters on the top right here, but we need hours on the bottom. So we do our minutes at the top, our hours at the bottom. 60 minutes is 1 hour. Cross it out, and now we can solve. So 1,000 times 2 times 60 divided by 10 divided by 1,000. It's going to be 12 milliliters per hour to send this mama into labor. Okay. And I think somebody asked me to do a microgram per kilogram per minute question. Do I have another one? I don't know. I don't think it's right there. If it is. So, how y'all doing in school? You know, y'all just kind of need to check in on folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it going? I just want y'all to be encouraged. You know, you're not the first, you're not the last. There are many that have come and gone before you, and there are people that's coming after you. You know, it's a race. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep going. You got to keep going. I'm gonna turn this off while I'm looking for this milligram per kilogram question. But I just want y'all to know that delay is not denial. Nursing is its own beast. It's its own science. So it's not going to be easy all the time. You know what I'm saying? But you can do it, okay? And if you don't make the highest grade that you want to make, hey, don't beat yourself up. You know, just get there. You know what I'm saying? Just get there. Just get through it. You can do it. Just get through it. And if you've had some setbacks or some delays, remember that delay does not mean denial. I'm telling you, I'm a living witness, child. I'm a living witness. I don't see the rest of my doggone problems. Let's see. Miss Diaz. Okay. So I'm going to write it down because I don't have it posted up on one of my little cute sheets. Do y'all have any more questions about dosage calculations? Hey, I'm doing bad in math. Okay. What about a regular units one? What are you talking about? Like, it's not in million. It's usually in milliunits with Pitocin. Are you talking about like heparin questions that are in units? Jake, what you talking about? 5 micrograms kilogram per minute. Patient weight is 100 kgs. Okay. What's the rest of it? I'm maintaining well in mental health. Cool beans. All right, 3 more semester. Hey, what kind of new grad nurse were you? Who you talking? You talking to me? I have a cardiac. I have to make sure. Okay, heparin drip. She was asking for a microgram per kilogram per minute. Oh, I got one. I just, like I said, I didn't have it formulated out. I'm just gonna write down the numbers. I think it was like 13.5 mLs and 75 kilograms. 13.5 mLs an hour and 75 kilograms. And what else is it going? And it's 1 gram and 250 milliliters of D5W. Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Here we go again on my own. All right, 13.5 milliliters is the IV that's infusing, okay? The patient's weight is 75 kilograms, and then this is the medicine that's available. We want to find micrograms per kg per minute. So, if we are looking for micrograms, we want to start with micrograms. So, 1,000 micrograms over 1 milligram. And then we have grams right here. So we got two conversions in this bad boy. Oh, I should have wrote smaller. So if you wanted to do the conversion inside the dosage calc, it would look like, the dimensional analysis, it'll look like this. So it'll be 1,000 milligrams over 1 gram. So your milligrams crosses out. So then you've got 1 gram over 250 mLs. Your grams crosses out. Now you got your milliliters at the bottom. So you do your 13.5 mLs over hour. Milliliters cross out. Then we got hour at the bottom. So we'll do hour at the top over 60 minutes. Hours cross out. And then lastly, we got 1 over 75 kgs, which is our patient's weight. So we got microgram at the top, minutes, and kgs at the bottom. Let's see. What have I missed? Cardiac. I love cardiac. It's, cardiac scares a lot of people, but if you think about like the heart and the pump and like a water hose and like the pressures and all that stuff, it helps you make sense out of it. I do have heparin drip questions, and thank you, Jake, for trying to help me out. I appreciate you. I just hold on, man. Just get through it. Just get through it. It'll be a drop in the bucket of your whole nursing career. I'm telling you. I'm a living witness. In my last semester of LPN school, your girl was like, "What are you doing?" Everybody else don't went on, and then you got to see them at your clinicals, because you got to make it up with the rest of your classmates that didn't pass. It stings. It hurt a little bit, but hey, get through it and just don't give up. So if y'all were doing this last problem with me, I got 12 micrograms per kg per minute. Okay. So is 2 semesters considered an associate's? No. It take more than 2 semesters. Yeah. It take more than 2 semesters for prereqs too. You got a lot of prereqs, and especially if you don't CLEP or AP or IB after classes. All right, I got one more problem in me. Then I got to go to bed. I got patients to pick up tomorrow. And we starting bright and early. But yeah, y'all just keep going. Nursing is the gateway to so many different things. I know you see a lot of people talk about burnout and this and that and third. Like, it's wonderful to help people. You meet some awesome, cool folks. You see some awesome, cool things, and you get to help people. And then also, like, being a nurse has allowed me to see the need for transport for people to go back and forth. And that's what I also do. So I tutor and I transport people, and then I still nurse. So, hey, you do what you're going to do, boo-boo. Alrighty. This is super helpful. Yay! Thank you. Residency. Okay. How exciting. What specialty? Your patient has an order for heparin bolus of 10,000 units, followed by an IV drip of 18 units per kg per hour. Your patient weighs 167 pounds. You have a heparin vial labeled heparin 5,000 units per ml. What will you give your patient for the initial bolus? And what will you set your pump to if you have a 1,000 ml bag that had 50,000 units of heparin in it? All right, so when you see the word bolus and IV piggyback and IV push and all that stuff, don't let it like trip you up. Bolus is just a fancy word for that. You're going to give this one dose of medicine at one time. It's not going to be a drip. It's not going to be drip, 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 drip. A bolus is going to get that heparin into the blood at a level that it can start working so that your patient who has a condition where clots can be formed cannot clot. And you're going to maintain that medicine in the blood with your drip. Okay, so therefore we are going to do this simple bolus problem. It's going to be that quick and that simple, I promise you. Okay, so we need to give them 10,000 units, and we have a vial that says 5,000 units. So therefore we are looking for how many milliliters to give to our patient, right? So we got 5,000 units over ml, and we need to give 10,000 units. So we are looking for a milliliter. So we'll start with our milliliter. 5,000 units. Okay. Units on the bottom, units on the top. 10,000 units over 1. Units crossed out. That's going to be 2 milliliters for your bolus. Okay. And once you have your bolus, yes, Jake, once you have your bolus worked out, that's it. Don't try to use your bolus information in the drip part. Okay. That's why I said it helps to know what it is that you're looking for in these problems, because you'll just be pulling information from left to right. We've already used this part. We've already used this part. So that no longer is important to us as we are trying to find the drip. Okay. So anytime that you have a problem and it says pump, it's most likely going to be in milliliter per hour. Okay, dokie. All right. So our goal is going to be mLs over hour. So we got PPP. Remember, for all your weight-based problems, patient prescription product. Our patient's weight is 167 pounds. Our prescription is for 18 units per kg per hour. And then the bag is 1,000 mLs and it's got 50,000 units in it. We're looking for milliliters on the top, so I'm going to start with my milliliters on the top. 1,000 mLs over 50,000 units. So units have to cross out now, right? So we'll do 18 units per kg per hour. Units cross out. Now we've got kgs and hours on the bottom. So we use that. We got our patient's weight and it's in pounds. So I'll do 1 kg over 2.2 pounds. Cross it out. And then I got 167 pounds over 1. And now we've got milliliters on the top and hours on the bottom. So we'll put in our calculator. 1,000 times 18 times 167 divide 50,000 divide 2.2. And that's going to be 27.32. So if we rounded this to the nearest whole number, it would be 27. If you rounded it to the nearest tenths, it would be 27.3. And I have seen IV pumps that you can round it to the tenths, especially with heparin, because it's weight specific. Why it's the gold milliliter per hour? Because it says, what will you set your IV pump? IV pump is your golden ticket right here. That's your big clue. If it's an IV pump, it's going to be milliliter per hour. Anytime you're giving an IV, you want volume over time. If it's not in a calibrated drip set with your tubing that has a drip factor, it's going to be mLs per hour. All right, you guys, y'all don't work me tonight. I said I was doing 15 questions, and how many are we at? Yay. So, in dimensional analysis, are you dividing by individual denominators or multiplying them and dividing once? Jake, what I do is I take the whole line across the top and you multiply, multiply, multiply. When you get to the end, you hit divide. And then all on your numbers on the bottom, you enter those and you hit divide between those numbers. And then once you get to the end, you press the equal sign once. And that's how I do the calculator trip. Yes, sir. Calculator trick. Calculator trick. How I didn't know IV pump was mLs per hour. No wonder I'm out. Oh, Eureka! The light has came on for you. Yes, if it says milliliter, if it says IV pump, it's most likely going to be in milliliter per hour, almost 100%. I don't like to say always, but it almost is always milliliter per hour, unless they ask you something funky. Like sometimes they'll give you a question that starts off with a IV pump, and they says the battery has died, and you have to switch to like a gravity set or something. And I'm like, bro, y'all doing too much. But yes, thank y'all for joining my segment of Study Buddy Sunday. Don't forget to go to my YouTube channel and watch the replay, like, subscribe, leave me comments, suggestions. I am open for requests for Wednesday night. I will be on here at 8 p.m. Central Time. If you need private tutoring or small group tutoring, ABRN tutoring, A blessed RN tutoring.com is me. I am she is me, and I will be happy to help you along the way in your nursing career. Now is the time of the night that I will click